Many efforts over the past few years have been made to reduce the plastic pollution in our oceans, including cleaning up beaches and bodies of water. Many different organizations such as Oceans Conservatory, Oceana, Sea Shepherd Conservation Society work to protect our oceans. One movement they are currently pushing is for the ban on plastic straws. According to the National Park Services, the average person uses 1.6 straws per day, resulting in 38,000 straws used annually by just one person. This means that nearly 500 million straws are used and discarded in the United States alone. We are aware that plastic straws are just one small thing, but what we aren't aware of is that they have climbed to the top 5 items found according to the Oceans Conservatory International Coastal Cleanup data. For this persuasive speech, I would like to inform you about the harmful effects that plastic straws can have on our society and why everyone should be making an effort to say no to straws. Now, this movement was sparked in 2015 when a video went viral of a sea turtle getting a plastic straw pulled out of its nose. It started awareness on plastic, but more specifically, plastic straws. The Plastic Pollution Coalition wants everyone to be aware of a few facts about plastic straws, so I would like to go over them with you. First, it's important to know that plastic is everywhere. It's mostly those on-the-go culprits that we see that end up in gutters, drains, parks, schools, and unfortunately, and mostly, beaches. Plastic never goes away. Even those biodegradable plastics aren't meant to be dissolved in seawater, and they take just as long to dissolve as plastic straws do. Plastic also soils our underground because it covers the landfill, and over time those chemicals seep into the groundwater and go to our rivers and our streams and our lakes. Plastic also affects human health because the chemicals released by plastic and exposure to these have been linked to cancer, birth defects, impaired immunity, and even endocrine disruption. Along with these facts, it's also important to look at the science behind straws, specifically at the ocean, environment, and the consumption of microplastics. The Marine Insight states that among all the threats to marine environment, plastic is by far the most dangerous. This is because plastic affects everything under the water. The consumption of plastics by sea creatures can lead to intestinal injury and causes death in most fish in the ocean. Sea turtles are among the most common victims because they swim through these things called ghost nets. Ghost nets are nets that are left or lost by fishermen and get caught in all the plastic in the sea. These ghost nets are hard for marine life to see, so they typically swim through them without knowing. If any of you are familiar with the movie Happy Feet, this is what happens to that penguin in Happy Feet. Plastic straws also fill up our environment in beaches and can be dangerous to mammals like birds who mistake them for food, resulting in death, unfortunately. Strains also poison our food chain because of these things called microplastics. Microplastics are things that stored as normal plastic, but over time get broken down small enough for sea life to ingest them but not be harmed. What this means for us is that those fish are then caught and sold to humans, not knowing if they have consumed any harmful substances. This can lead to a number of problems in human health, and mostly it involves getting very ill upon consumption. Although some may see it as just one straw, this is a movement that will hopefully put a ban against more plastic. Some ways you can take action are ordering your drink without a straw. That is a very important one. A lot of people just bring straws upon request, but that's not enough. Switching to alternative straws is another way to take action. According to USA Today, there are 5 alternatives to the plastic straw. This includes straw, paper, metal, bamboo, and glass. And like I said before, it's important to avoid these biodegradable straws because they do not dissolve in seawater. It's important to know that recycling is not enough. According to the Strawless Ocean, straws aren't meant to be recycled because they are too small and lightweight, so when they get put through the sorter, they fall to the bottom with all the other materials too small to be recycled. The only way that this movement is going to get bigger is if people are aware of the steps being made against plastic. The production of straws from CNBC states that it takes about half a cent to make a straw. Businesses and restaurants can save money by going completely strawless or reducing their number of straws. Big companies that we know of, like Starbucks, McDonald's UK, American Airlines, and Marriott Hotels, have all made efforts to find alternatives to the plastic straws. Also, many cities have put a ban against plastic straws completely. These cities include Malibu, Manhattan Beach, Richmond, Seattle, and Miami. It's important to make a change now because our future generation depends on it. According to the webpage Future Generations, it states that by 2050, there will be more plastic in the ocean than there are fish. This means that we will rely more on red meat, which we know can have a negative effect on our heart and health. It also means that the salt that we get from the ocean will contain too many microplastics and we won't be able to get them out. So following the last straw movement, we all hope to promote the just say no. If you do not need a straw, let them know. If you do, please look for any eco-friendly alternative you can find. If you want to get involved, accept and challenge someone to use the hashtag #StopSucking, which is promoted by a Strawless Ocean and is part of a viral social media challenge. Plastic straws are just one small step towards a bigger future where plastic is kept to a need and not a want. When going to pick up a straw, remember the harmful effects it can have on our environment and our health. You may have more of a bigger impact than you think, and hopefully these straws will lead to something bigger. So everyone, please ditch the straw and use hashtag #StopSucking.